Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be trying the new Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Luminous Powder Blushes. I ordered a few of them, so we're going to try them on. We will swatch them. I haven't done anything with them other than open them and look at the colors, but that's it. So this will be a first impression and I'll be giving you my thoughts. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on YouTube. I hope you'll stick around, subscribe, and let's get into it. I had 4 of these blushes. I ordered 4 of them. Unfortunately, one of them came completely shattered, which is unfortunate. I was kind of worried about that because I know her highlighters, the powder highlighters, those also shatter really easily. So unfortunately, this one is shattered, which was the shade Cheer. This is the lightest shade, and this is the shade that does not exist in her liquid blushes. So I was really excited to try this one, but I do have 3 others. I have Happy, Hope, and Truth, which Truth is, I'm really excited about. Truth is the deepest color, and it looks like more of a wine shade, which I personally love. Okay. So here is the packaging, same packaging or component as the highlighter here, but obviously it's different color, and this is matte, whereas this is more of like a shiny finish. So this one is the shade Happy, and it looks like this. Looks very, very comparable to the liquid Happy, which I have right here. I've been seeing some things about these being really shimmery. I don't see like huge flecks of glitter or anything just in the pan itself, but I have seen that a few times from other people that have tried these already. Oh yeah, so this one is Truth. So this is the deepest shade, which looks really, really pretty. And then Hope is my favorite liquid blush shade from Rare Beauty, so I was most excited about this one. In the powder. Oh yeah, that definitely looks right up my alley. So let's swatch these and I'll give you my thoughts on the swatches. So they definitely feel very thin, very fine, very, very, if not identical to the highlighters. The Positive Light highlighters, I believe, is what the name of the powders are. So we have Accelerate in the highlighter and Hope in the blushes. But yeah, the formula feels identical. I'll swatch the other 2 also, but that is Hope right there. Now I do have self tanner on right now, so I'm a little bit deeper than I normally am, so keep that in mind. But that one there is the shade Hope. Okay, before we move on to the rest of the swatches, I just noticed that the lettering in the Rare Beauty on the shade Happy is silver and it's gold on the other 2 shades. So this one is Truth. Don't know how well it'll show up on the camera, but this one is a different lettering. That's interesting. I wonder if it's just mine or if all the Happies are like that. So you have Truth, Happy, and Hope, and that's one of the highlighters in Exhilarate. Right there. I mean, these 2 to me look pretty true in tone of the liquids. I'll go ahead and swatch the liquids next to them so you can see. So we've got Happy in the liquid and Happy in the powder, Hope in the liquid, and Hope in the powder. So you can see they're obviously much more muted. The undertones are the same, but they're a totally different formula, obviously much more muted in tone, and they have the shimmer in them. All right, I did already obviously apply foundation. I've applied my whole face of makeup other than blush. So let's go ahead and apply, and I'm gonna apply on both cheeks for all 3 colors. I'll just have to wipe off my makeup and redo it quickly because I feel like that's more helpful. I like to see it on both cheeks instead of just one. So let's do it. I'm gonna do this shade first, which is Hope, and they actually recommend using the Rare Beauty blush brush, and I have it, somewhere, but I cannot find it. I don't know what happened to it. It's a great brush for the liquids, and I assume it would also be great for this, but I can't find mine. So we're just gonna use something that I have here. I actually like this for blush. This is a Sigma brush. It's the large angled contour brush, the F40. So I got some of Hope on the brush, and let's apply. Very, very pretty. Let's add a little bit more. So there is Hope on that side. Definitely very, very glowy, and I would say pretty sheer in terms of pigment. So this is going to be more of, I would say maybe a blush topper, unless you like a really subtle glowy blush, then you can obviously wear it on its own, but it is not super pigmented like the liquids. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Also, I did set my face with powder before applying these, so this is not on top of like wet base products or anything. And this brush is actually applying them really nicely. It's kind of it's an angled brush, but it's very fluffy on the end, so it doesn't apply anything really harshly or intensely. So for blush, that can be nice. So this one is the shade Hope. In terms of how they look on my skin, I know sometimes things that are this radiant and glowy can kind of magnify things on your skin if you're somebody that has more acne prone skin, or you struggle with larger pores, or just texture of any kind. On me, I don't see anything that's super like clingy or enhancing on my skin. However, I do not have acne prone skin, and I have pores, obviously everybody does, but I don't struggle with large pores. I have them, but it's not a problem area for me typically. So in my opinion, on my skin, I don't see that it's highlighting anything in terms of texture that I don't like, but they are, I mean, it is definitely very, very glowy. So I would say if you are someone that is looking to hide texture or pores on your cheeks, I don't know that you would love this. Maybe if you used a matte blush underneath and just used a little bit of this over the top, maybe that would work, but they're very glowy. However, I also don't see like chunks of glitter. I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not seeing the shimmer in these blushes like on my skin. They're just very glowy and radiant looking, but you don't actually see shimmer particles on your skin. All right, so this one was shade Hope. I love this color. I think it's beautiful. If you like a rosy or nude, Hope is beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one, and we'll move on to Happy. Let's apply Happy. I also love the shade Happy. This is probably my second favorite of the liquid blushes. So let's do Happy, and I'm gonna rub off this brush really well. I really like this brush actually to apply these. This is Happy. All right, let's do the other side. Okay, so there is Happy on both sides. Obviously, this one is more of a bright poppy pink, but not nearly as poppy as the liquid version of this, but this is also a really beautiful color. And these apply really nicely. They're more on the sheer side, so usually more sheer products are a bit easier to apply, so it's not like patchy or anything. And I mean, it's beautiful, very glowy, but I could definitely see these being a really pretty blush topper. If you use a matte blush or you use something and you want to add a little bit of a glow, I think These would be really pretty for that. Just a totally different experience than applying the liquids. Obviously, this is much more ethereal, thin, light, glowy on the skin compared to these. Okay, so this is Happy. I also love this color. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove this one more time and we'll apply Truth. All right, and finally we'll apply Truth, which is the deep kind of berry wine shade. I'm going to switch to a different brush with this one. Well, actually, I think that one might be a little too dense maybe, so I'm going to use the same brush actually and just really wipe it off. So we'll use the Sigma brush and apply Truth. So there is Truth on that side. I like the color. That one applied a little bit patchy, and I set this area each time I've redone my face, so maybe I didn't set it well enough, but it did apply a little bit patchy initially. It's more sheer, so you can fix that more easily with a foundation brush, but it did initially go on a little bit patchy. I'll just go ahead and switch brushes and see if that makes a difference. This is the angled blush brush from Smashbox. And just gonna go in and apply. Add a little bit more. That one applied patchy on that side too. I'm guessing it's from me not setting my face super well, maybe. Yeah, that one definitely didn't apply as smoothly as the other two. I like the color, but I don't know, that one definitely was not super easy to apply. Okay, I went ahead and grabbed some blushes that I have in my collection that came to mind that are somewhat similar to this formula. So the first ones I really wanted to compare are the Hourglass blushes, the ambient lighting blushes. I love these. These are baked blushes. So let's swatch this, which is Diffused Heat, next to Happy from Rare Beauty. Okay, yeah, I'm actually glad that I'm swatching these next to each other. So this is Hourglass Ambient Lighting in Diffused Heat, and this is Happy in the new Rare Beauty formula. So there's a big difference here in my mind. So the Hourglass still gives you a glow, like it's not a flat finish by any means on your skin, but it's not like this. This is definitely, in my opinion, you can really see it here. This is much more of a highlighter to me than a blush. If anything, it's just like a highlighter blush topper maybe, but there's definitely a big difference in finish between these two. So with this, you're getting a lot more luminosity, a lot more glow. If you do struggle with pores or texture, like I said earlier, you're going to have a better chance of it being highlighted with something like this than you are the Hourglass blush. So there is a pretty big difference in terms of finish there. Now let's compare to another formula. I have one of the RMS blushes here. I only have one color, and this one is not a really similar shade to the shades that I have. This is Crystal Slipper, which is right here. And this is actually a newer formula to me. So this is Crystal Slipper, that is Happy in the Rare Beauty, and then that is the Hourglass in Diffused Heat. So I would say RMS in terms of the finish, definitely more similar to the Rare Beauty than the Hourglass, but I still think the Rare Beauty is more glowy. Like there's more shimmer in this than there is here. This definitely has glow to it for sure. And this is a very light, more muted color, but this is much glowier in my opinion than this, but they are more similar than the Hourglass for sure. I know a lot of people love the RMS blushes, so I wanted to definitely compare those. And then the other ones that I pulled out are actually from Bare Minerals. So I have the bronzer in Kiss of Pink and the highlighting blush in Pink Glow. So this is one of their newer formulas. It came out 2023. I think it was like last summer maybe. And this immediately kind of made me think of the Rare Beauty. This is the shade Pink Glow. So I will go ahead and swatch this one. So this down here is Pink Glow from Bare Minerals, RMS Crystal Slipper, Happy from Rare Beauty, and Hourglass in Diffused Heat up here. So yes, this is definitely the most similar to the Rare Beauty in terms of the finish. This color, as you can see, is a really, really, really fair color. It shows up a little bit more on me when I don't have self-tan on, so it looks even lighter right now just because of the self-tan. But okay, this really reminds me of this for sure, like looking at it here. Hopefully you can see that. So if you happen to try these Bare Minerals highlighting blushes, that is what I would equate these Rare Beauty blushes to. And they even call this a highlighting blush. Bare Minerals does. And then I do have the bronzer as well from Bare Minerals in Kiss of Pink. So I swatched Kiss of Pink on the side over here. So that is Kiss of Pink in the bronzer from Bare Minerals, the highlighting blush in Pink Glow, RMS Crystal Slipper, Happy, and Diffused Heat from Hourglass. So that one is also similar. The bronzer, I would say, is a little, or it's less glowy. It has less shimmer in it than the highlighting blush. It does have glow, like you can see there. It's not a flat blush by any means, but it's definitely not as glowy as the highlighting blush and not as glowy as the Rare Beauty. And the only other one that I pulled out here is from Essence, and it's the Pure Nude Baked Blush in Shimmery Rose. This one, from what I remember, is also a similar finish. So I want to swatch this one as well in Shimmering Rose. So this is the lightest shade that comes in these Essence blushes. So I don't know how much you'll be able to see because this is a really, really light color, but that is Shimmering Rose from Essence. Very light, most similar to Pink Glow, but it's even lighter than that from Bare Minerals. And okay, Bare Minerals Kiss of Pink, RMS Crystal Slipper, Happy, and Diffused Heat from Hourglass. So there are some comparisons. So I would definitely say it's most similar to these highlighting blushes from Bare Minerals in terms of the amount of glow is really what I'm basing that on. The RMS blush gives some glow. It has that really pretty like glowy finish, but it doesn't have the shimmer in it. That's the thing. The more I look at the swatch of the Rare Beauty compared to these others, I mean, it has the most shimmer in it if you look closely. So if you don't like shimmer on your cheeks, I would say definitely stay away from these. All right, hopefully those comparisons were helpful for you. In terms of my thoughts on these blushes and whether or not I recommend them, I like them, but I don't love them, to be totally honest. I think they're pretty. I don't think everyone's gonna love them though. I don't think this is like a run out, you gotta get these kind of situation. I think if you like something extremely glowy, leaning more towards a highlighter than a blush, I think you would probably like these. If you're wanting it to add glow to a blush you've already applied, you might like it for that. But in terms of just on their own. They're pretty. I like them. I like a glow on my skin, so that doesn't bother me, but you're not getting a ton of pigment and you're getting a lot of radiance on your skin. So if you don't love that, you won't love these. I do think they are extremely similar to these from Bare Minerals. So if you have tried this formula and you didn't love it, I think you probably won't love these either. I like them. I think they're pretty. I like the colors that I got. I will also say that I do think Hope and Happy on the skin in this formula in particular, they don't look that different from each other. And I've seen a few comments on that, even saying that in comparison to this one that I have that's broken and Cheer. I have seen some people saying that the pinks don't look that different, and I agree, especially after applying them. I think on your skin, they don't look that different. They're not identical, but they're pretty close. So just keep that in mind. I don't think you need to get multiple shades, especially if you're wanting the pink ones. I would say maybe just get one because I don't think you're gonna find there's that big of a difference on your skin. I think I'm a little bit disappointed, just to be totally honest with you. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wish they were maybe just a tad more pigmented and have a little bit less of the shimmer in it, because I don't see noticeable glitter on my face, but in comparison to some of these other formulas, they definitely have more of a shimmer to them. So I wish there was a little bit less of that and a little bit more pigment. I would honestly prefer if I were choosing the Hourglass blushes, because in my mind, you get a little bit of everything with this formula. You get a little bit of that beautiful glow on your skin that comes from the baked formula, but you don't get the shimmer. So you don't have to really worry about it enhancing texture or pores or anything like that. So of the two, I would personally choose Hourglass over this one, but that's just personal preference. It really depends on what you're looking for. I think they're a nice addition to the Rare Beauty line, but I don't think they are a must-have, in my opinion, unless you're someone that's looking for sheer glowy, veering on highlighter, then you would probably love these. But I did have a bit of trouble with the third shade in Truth, as you saw, but I'm pretty sure that was from my face not being super set. I had to redo my face or my cheeks each time I did that, so maybe I didn't set very well that last time. So I don't know if it was that, but overall they weren't terribly difficult to apply. However, I don't know if this would be a formula where you would get a really smooth, even application if you just went right in on wet skin. So just keep that in mind. Some formulas are better than others in terms of applying them on wet skin. So I don't know that this one would be one that would be great over a wet foundation. But I hope this video was helpful or enjoyable. Let me know if you've tried these blushes. What are your thoughts? I want to know in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. I will have these blushes linked for you, as well as everything else that I'm wearing today if you are curious. They are affiliated links that support my channel, so if you use them, thank you so much. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.